Marhaban, welcome to lesson 7, Sabah. Gonna make it easy today. Just talking about the weather. The weather is a tux. A tux is the weather. Now, when it's written out in full Arabic, by the way, it's spelled al tux. Literally the tux. Okay? The weather, but the L sound blends into the T here. There's a few letters like T and D, and a few others where the L goes away. Okay, we can talk about that kind of more further, like later. But anyway, a tux. Okay, so how do you say how? How do you say how do you say? How do you say? Notice the T. Review your present tense. I speak. أتكلم. You speak. تتكلم. Adding the T. Speaking to female. تتكلمين. كيف تقول. Speaking to a female. كيف تقولين. Review your present tense if you like, you know. كيف تقول. All right, so كيف تقول. So كيف تقول, how do you say how? كيف تقول how? Well, you say كيف, all right? So how is the weather? كيف a tux. That's all there is. There's no is. There's no how is, right? It's just how. كيف tux. That's the question, okay? كيف a tux. كيف a tux. And then today, we've definitely used that. كيف a tux. اليوم. Notice you could just stop the question at كيف a tux. اليوم is optional. It's also optional to specify, you know, where we're talking about these. You could say fi Chicago, for example. So you could say to me, Tony, how is the weather? And that's it. You could say, Tony, كيف a tux. Or you could say, كيف a tux اليوم. Or you could say, Tony, كيف tux اليوم في Chicago. Or كيف tux اليوم في New York. كيف tux اليوم في مصر. Masr is Egypt, and so on and so forth. So you can construct your sentence. Your sentence, it's collapsible. It can be longer or shorter, depending on what you want to ask, right? So كيف tux اليوم في here or في there. So a tux اليوم, a tux har, which means hot. All right, so a tux har. A tux batted is cold. A tux batted. A tux har jiddan. Jiddan means very, right? So it comes after the adjective. And so a tux har jiddan, or a tux batted jiddan. All right, so how would you say the tux is very cold today? You'd say a tux بارد جدا اليوم. How would you say the weather is very cold today in Chicago? So the weather is very cold today in Chicago, which today, as I create this video, that's actually true. So a tux بارد جدا اليوم في Chicago. How do you make it a question? You just say هل. هل الطقس بارد جدا اليوم في Chicago? Right? Because هل just makes a yes or no question. It's as easy as that. So you say هل الطقس بارد جدا اليوم في Chicago? هل الطقس حار جدا اليوم. Let me add one more thing here. الطقس ليس is it's not. الطقس ليس. ليس. Okay, so how do you say it's not? كيف تقول? How do you say? How do you say it's the weather is not hot? الطقس ليس حار. الطقس ليس حار اليوم. الطقس ليس بارد اليوم. Right? The weather's not very cold today in New York. الطقس ليس بارد جدا اليوم في New York. Right? See all the possibilities as usual. How's the weather? كيف الطقس اليوم? All right. So yeah, we've been building conversation and structure. Sometimes it's nice just to have an easy topic, but the principles are still there of mixing and matching verb and vocab, mixing and matching from columns really to say the things you want to say. And it's all about practice. It's really all about thinking in Arabic, speaking in Arabic, communicating in Arabic. All right. See you next time. إلى اللقاء. مع السلامة.